This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO for Mawson Gold, Mr. Ivan Fairhall. Ivan, it is great to have you back on. How are you today?
I'm very well, Gerardo. Very well. Great to be back on. Thank you.
You know, Ivan, I always joke that I consider myself, and I'm serious, I consider myself a pretty simple guy. And so over the weekend, you and I had an off-the-record chat where I was doing some math and we were comparing some numbers, and I'm looking at Mawson's share price, and it's at 14 cents right now. You have a market cap of roughly $41 million Canadian. Now, before I get to my next comment, mind you, I was doing all this before today's news where Southern Cross Gold, which Mawson Gold owns 60% off, just drilled another 42 meters of 4.8 grams per ton gold equivalent at Sunday Creek in Victoria, Australia. So this is all prior to today's results, which, you know, highlight the second and fourth best holes ever drilled into Sunday Creek. And I want to get into that a bit. But what I was doing over the weekend and with the numbers that you and I were comparing, I was looking at Mawson's stake in Southern Cross Gold, which has arguably one of the, if not the most exciting discoveries in this part of the world in recent time. And I came up with a number of roughly 14 to 15 cents per share is what Mawson's interest in Southern Cross Gold is worth. And so what struck me, and again, this is prior to the phenomenal numbers that were just announced, is I'm looking at the assets that Mawson has in its portfolio, and we can argue about whether one day this will be a $3 million gold ounce asset that's a mine, or a 5 million gold ounce asset that becomes a mine, or if you never find another ounce, you have a million gold ounce equivalent right now. That's sitting there. We could argue about that valuation, which, by the way, has a PEA upcoming in the next couple of months, if I'm not mistaken. But whatever that value is, that's essentially been being given away. And not only is that being given away, but a part of Mawson's interest in Southern Cross Gold is also thrown in for free because of the valuation. Am I wrong in any of my numbers or any of what I'm perceiving here?
No, it's your eyes do not deceive you. That's all. The mathematics is correct. You know, our stake in Southern Cross is worth more than our entire market cap, and that means you're getting assets, 1 million ounces in Finland. It's going to grow, and it's a project. You're getting those effectively for free. So you're right. We don't. You know, there's a lot of value potential here in the stock that is, we don't have to go and find anything. You know, a lot of stocks you invest in and you hope that they're going to deploy the capital to make further discoveries and do work that creates value. The value's been created here in Mawson. We just need to get that reflected in our share price. The assets are already there. We'll continue to grow those assets, both us and Southern Cross has still got plenty to do as well, and we'll share in that. But just based on what we've got today, there's significant potential within the stock, absolutely.
Let's get into the news that Southern Cross just reported. 42 meters of 4.8 grams per ton gold equivalent. The widths of the mineralization, the grades are excellent. Can you provide some more context on what Sunday Creek looks like it's shaping to be?
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, look, Sunday Creek is the flagship project of Southern Cross, which is the company that Mawson spun out in May with its assets in Australia, and Mawson retained 60% of Southern Cross. So the results that Southern Cross released today are, as you mentioned, 2 of the 4 best holes on the project. 42 meters at 4.8 grams a ton gold equivalent. That's gold and antimony. 15 meters at 4.2 grams a ton. And that's a follow-up to its stellar hole 33, which was announced a few weeks ago, of 119 meters at 3.9 grams a ton gold equivalent. So you got a project here that has, 15,000 meters of drilling in it, and it's already got 15 greater than 100 gram per meter intercept holes. And that's a very good metric for for the sort of scale of mineralization that make a really quality discovery that we obviously believe we've got here with 15 already on the board. And so these holes, what they're demonstrating and why the market really likes them and why Southern Cross is the value it is today and should be more, is that it's got, what we're seeing is we've got these high grade and wide zones of mineralization, but they're really starting to hang together. And that means that you're getting drill holes with closer density, and you're not finding gaps. What you're doing is finding more mineralization, and you're starting to see a deposit emerge and something that is mineable. And that's what people are really seeing here. So this Apollo shoot, these 3 holes cover 100 meters of it. And the third best hole is still 200 meters down plunge, the third best hole on the project. So there's a lot more drilling to do. Absolutely. There's 2 rigs working. But we're hopeful that Southern Cross are going to continue to release more results like this, keep their market happy, and therefore Mawson, as its major shareholder, very happy indeed.
Two drill rigs are now active at Sunday Creek. Is that accurate?
Yep. Two rigs are drilling, absolutely.
And we still have 5 holes pending?
Yep, there's 5 holes pending, a couple of holes being drilled, 3 in the lab. So the news results are going to continue to flow from Southern Cross, and as I said, mentioned, Mawson, very happy shareholder sitting here reading the news releases as you guys are as well.
Well, I suspect over the coming days and weeks, once the market really kind of digests what Southern Cross is onto, that Mawson's 60% stake is going to be worth closer to 20 cents than the 15 cents that it's worth right now. And again, just to remind everybody, Mawson's current share price is sitting at 14 cents. Let's talk about the PEA and the asset in Finland. There's 1 million gold equivalent ounces. You are working on a PEA. I am not an economic geologist, but I've been around long enough and have people that are much smarter than I that consult for me that don't see this PEA coming any lower than $100 million, right? And so if that is the case, then we're talking, another 40 to 50 cents in value there. Without me putting you in a position, Ivan, where you have to comment on the valuation that you hope to get, how is the PEA coming along?
Yeah, look, it's going very well. We're right in the thick of it at the moment. We're very busy up in Finland, and what the PEA is really aiming to do is to explain why this deposit it already looks like a mine. We don't need to find a lot more to demonstrate that there's a mine here. I think we will, and we'll come on to that in a minute. But the reasons for that is the message we're trying to get out in the PEA is look at the ore body geometry. We've got 6 zones of mineralization. It's amenable to pretty productive and relatively low cost mining, which is what they're very good at in that part of the world. We've got excellent gold metallurgy, so good recoveries. We're seeing that reinforced in the test work that we've done. And that means simple, low cost processing. And you've also got excellent access to infrastructure, so that reduces the capital burden on the project. We're 30 minutes from the capital of Lapland. They've got an international airport, a big skilled workforce. There's power nearby. So you don't have expensive camps and infrastructure solutions that drive up the capital, as you see in a lot of other more remote projects, particularly in the north. That's really not the case here in Finland. So, that PEA is looking to be out in the next couple of months, and we're really excited to be able to articulate what we've already found. But the benefit of having that PEA as well is what it's going to mean for what we're yet to find.
That's the part. It's funny that you went there, because that's the part I was going to ask you about next. Let me lowball it. Let me say that PEA comes in with a net present value of $100 million. Mawson's market cap, again, is roughly $42 million today. The stake in Southern Cross, we already went over what that is worth. Even if the PEA comes on the low end of $100 million, there is still substantial upside. And the reason for that is you have a humongous land package that is largely unexplored. Can you explain that part of the asset and just how you plan on unlocking some of that value here moving forward?
Sure. Yeah, like I mentioned, I think we're going to find a lot more. When you look at the property, there's a couple of reasons that make me say that. First of all of our ore bodies are open at depth, completely open. There's a hole that's the deepest hole in Pelocus, the South Pelocus ore body, 30 meters at 5 grams a ton, completely open. So it's a function of more drilling into the deposit down dip, and we're confident we're going to find more. And the PEA, in a real immediate sense, the PEA will allow us to value that exploration upside. You can very easily run scenarios around mine life extension and see what that does to project valuations. You've got no additional capital to spend. You just keep running the mine life for longer. We're going to size it to be so that mine life extension has maximum value in the PEA, and so it's going to provide a way to value that exploration upside, which I think is going to be probably the most important takeaway, in fact, from the PEA. Stepping back, like you mentioned, we've got a very large land package, 18,000 hectares in the Parapoja belt there in Finland. There's been some great discoveries recently in Finland. Rupert Resources, for guys that follow the TSX companies, 4 million ounce maiden resource, $1 billion market cap. So we got a very big, very similar land package, mostly undrilled. We found our 1 million ounces. On the other side of the property, when we first started looking, we hit 6 meters at 617 grams a ton. And really, we've done no exploration in the middle, and we've been doing works and magnetic surveys. We're looking to update the market soon on the plans, but what I can say is that we've really got some great targets there in the middle of the property, and we plan to be back on the ground in the fall, grooming those targets and getting more drill targets ready, so that we can go and find some more deposits.
You also have a very important cobalt kicker that I know has attracted a lot of community and political support around the asset due to obviously the sources that a lot of the world's cobalt comes from not being the most stable or ethical way to source cobalt. Can you speak to that aspect of the project before I let you go, Ivan?
Yeah, sure. So the cobalt is an important part of our story, I believe, and it's not but it's interesting. It's not a huge important economic driver of the project. Rayapolot's really a gold mine. The highest grades of gold is where we're going to mine, and that's where we're going to get the most economic benefit. But the cobalt we take along the way as we mine, and we believe we can produce a product that's saleable, and it has incremental value to the project, but it has significant incremental value to Finland and the EU, and clearly they have sourcing issues. 99% of the cobalt is imported into the EU from places like the DRC, and they're looking to secure the supply chain for their automotive industry in particular, and that is why we're seeing government support, community support, funding for the project. In the form of technical studies and assistance with how to find more cobalt and how to extract that cobalt and how to sustainably, build a project to extract it. And so that's sort of why you're seeing that political support, because, they're very keen to see cobalt resources exploited in Europe.
Free gold, free cobalt, exposure to one of the most exciting gold discoveries in Australia. If that doesn't make the case, I don't know what does, folks. I joke about buying winter coats in the summertime. If you're going to be a contrarian in the space, which is how I've been fortunate enough to make, the bulk of my money, you have to buy when no one cares. Again, I don't think I can present a more compelling case. Ivan, thank you for your time. Anything to add to that, sir?
No, I think we've covered it. There's a lot going on. And it's a really great time for people to be taking a look at Mawson.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ivan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gerardo. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.